Today's story is titled From Cleaner to CEO's Wife, the inspiring true story of Olaego's rise from dust to diamonds. Olaego was born into poverty in the heart of Lagos, Nigeria. Her father, a struggling artisan, and her mother, a vegetable vendor, worked tirelessly to provide for their children. Despite the hardships, their home was filled with love and unshakable faith in God. Ola grew up watching her mother pray, believing that God had a plan for them. Every night, she whispered her own prayers, asking for a future beyond the slums. After finishing high school with top grades, but no money for university, Ola took a job as a janitor in a prestigious company. With a mop in one hand and dreams in her heart, she always prayed to God while scrubbing the marble floors, envisioning herself in one of the executive offices. Her determination, inquisitiveness, and knowledge-seeking inquiries caught the attention of some employees, but many saw her as just another worker. Unbothered, Ola remained steadfast, believing that one day she would sit behind a desk instead of wiping them. Despite long hours and exhaustion, Ola used her little stipend to register in an online library, borrow textbooks, and studied late into the night. She saved every penny, hoping to fund her education. One day, the CEO's assistant noticed her diligence and asked her about her dreams. Inspired by Ola's resilience, she encouraged her to apply for several scholarships and even helped her navigate the application process. After months of waiting and countless rejections, an email finally arrived. Ola had won a full scholarship to study business administration at a prestigious university abroad. Tears of joy streamed down her face as she fell to her knees in gratitude to God. She rushed home to share the news with her parents, who embraced her, danced with her, and thanked God that their prayers had finally been answered. Arriving in Canada was overwhelming. The tall buildings, fast-paced lifestyle, and cultural differences initially intimidated her. But she refused to be discouraged. She juggled her studies with a part-time job, proving herself in every class. Through it all, she remained grounded in her faith, finding strength in prayers and the small African church she joined. As part of her school program, Ola secured an internship at a multinational corporation. She impressed her supervisors with her work ethics, intelligence, and humility. She always arrived early, worked late, volunteered for several projects, and took on challenges eagerly. Several colleagues noticed her passion for work, with one person taking particular notice, Ethan, the CEO's son, who was captivated by her drive, sincerity, and beauty. Ethan was intrigued by Ola's determination. He began to interact with her, first in professional settings, then as a friend. Ola, cautious yet kind, focused on her work while appreciating his genuine interest in her journey. Slowly, they built a strong friendship based on mutual respect and admiration. 4 years later, upon graduation, Ola was offered an international job at the same company where she interned. Overjoyed, she called her parents, who praised God for his blessings. She moved into a modest apartment and worked diligently, knowing she carried the hope of her family and community on her shoulders. As she excelled in her career, Ethan and Ola grew closer. He admired her strength and resilience, while she valued his kindness, respect, and genuine care for her well-being. Their friendship deepened, but Ola remained wary. She had worked too hard to let emotions derail her progress. Ethan, understanding her fears, remained patient, proving his intentions were true and pure. Ethan officially introduced Ola to his family. Used to wealth and privilege, his parents were initially skeptical, but her intelligence, humility, and faith won them over. She shared her journey with them, moving even the most skeptical hearts. Eventually, they accepted her as part of their family. On a trip back to Nigeria, Ethan surprised Ola with a heartfelt proposal in the very market where she once sold vegetables with her mother. Overwhelmed, she said yes, knowing that their love was built on respect, faith, and friendship. It was a full circle moment, proof that faith and perseverance can change destinies. Their wedding was a grand one, but deeply personal affair. Dignitaries, colleagues, and loved ones gathered to celebrate their union. Ola's parents, once burdened by poverty, beamed with pride as they watched their daughter walk down the aisle. The girl who once cleaned floors now stood as the bride of the CEO's son, not by chance, but by grace and hard work. Determined to help others, Ola and Ethan established a foundation that funded education for underprivileged students. Ola personally mentored young women, encouraging them to dream beyond their circumstances. She refused to forget where she came from and dedicated herself to creating opportunities for others. Despite the luxury surrounding her, Ola remained humble. She spoke at conferences, sharing her story to inspire others. She and Ethan traveled the world, working on initiatives to uplift struggling communities. Her journey from a poor cleaner to a global change maker became a beacon of hope. Though deeply in love, their marriage was not devoid of the issues that interracial marriages face. Cultural differences, societal expectations, and media scrutiny threatened to shake their union. But with faith, communication, and commitment, they overcame each obstacle, growing stronger together. Ola gave birth to their first child, a daughter named Grace. Holding her baby, she was reminded of her own humble beginnings. She vowed to raise her daughter with the same values of faith, perseverance, and kindness. Ola launched an empowerment program for young women from disadvantaged backgrounds. Through workshops, mentorship, and funding, she helped thousands of girls gain access to education and opportunities. Her story went viral, and then one day, she was invited to speak at the United Nations, sharing her own story on a global stage. As she took the podium, she saw the reflection of the girl who once cleaned floors and dared to dream. Her voice trembled with gratitude and power. Years later, Ola sat on the balcony of her beautiful home, watching the sun set with Ethan by her side. She reflected on her journey, the struggles, the prayers, the victories. Through it all, one thing remained constant: her faith in God. She was living proof that with belief in God, perseverance, consistent hard work, and grace, dreams do come true. Thank you for listening and watching. Do well to subscribe to my channel for more interesting stories. Thank you.